Hey, everybody, welcome to the Show Me Showcase. We are here this week with a couple of very special people. We've got Justin, one of our coordinators, who is joining us this week, and we've got a very special guest, or probably multiple guests. Gramma Rose and her zoo is out there. You got all kinds of critters around you, don't you?
Yes.
Well, welcome. The purpose of our show is always to showcase things that are going on within the Show Me world. So our vendors, our attendees, and our coordinators and staff that make everything fly. So without further ado, Gramma Rose has just signed up. She's going to be joining us on our show in Eugene. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and the crazy animal world that you've got going on?
Well, my husband and I have a small zoo. I like to call it a zoo because even though we get to interact, it's more of an interactive zoo. I don't even like to call it a petting zoo. We get to interact, and we are able to interact with some rather interesting critters. Typically, people come to see the kangaroos, and now that we have our zebra, they come to see the zebra. But what they don't expect is falling in love with porcupines and a little armadillo. So, interacting with the porcupine is not something that most people have ever done, nor have they even seen a porcupine alive. Normally, unfortunately, they're hit on the roads, and so we just try to make this as educational as possible without driving people crazy with too much talking. Of course, we have great fun when we have baby Joeys, like right now. Well, she's right behind me, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see the Joey. She's got her head peeking out. Oh, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, we can see her.
Can you see her? Hello, Lillian.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I just take a lot of joy in letting people experience things that they've only either seen in YouTube videos or maybe on TV. And when they come, they're just like, when you get to see a little Joey that's like the size of a kidney bean, just growing, just a couple days old inside of a pouch, it still thrills me. I still jump up and down and get so excited. So it's our goal. I've got a wallaby and a pit bull playing. Wish you could see this. I know it. You go get him. Go on, go get him. Our white wallaby and our black pit bull are quite the pair. They've grown up together. I don't even know if you can see it. There you go. I think you can see it.
Yeah, we can. That's
Much more
awesome.
interesting than my mug. And then I've got my macaw all the way down. He went all the way down to the end of this fence. But
It's just proof that everyone can get along, right?
well, it is that is something that people comment on when they come, is they comment on how everybody gets along so well. Now, granted, I don't put animals together that don't get along, so it's a bit of an illusion. For example, the emus do not like the goat, so they cannot be in the same area. Uh, so not everybody gets along. The zebra does not like the mini horse, but loves the llama.
It's like all siblings. All siblings are like that. You got some that get along, some don't.
And some that don't. But Emery, she's actually a Staffordshire. She's a Staffy. She is really a remarkable dog. She does tours with us. Little Teddy, my Patagonian KB, my baby, he does tours with us, and it's so much fun. It's just fun. So people, always comment, you mean the dog goes in here? And I said, oh, yeah. And she goes in here? And I go, yeah. So she goes in with the porcupines. However, the zebra does not like it. That is the only animal on this property that does not like Emery. So anyway, oh well. But
You know,
yes.
when I that there were things coming that might have porcupines, my first thought was just, ouch. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. I can't wait to get there and actually see what you've got and meet some of these animals.
Well, the
So,
porcupines, just like many animals, there's lots of myth. I shouldn't say lots, but it seems like there's like a myth that goes along with each animal, like kangaroos box, for example. Well, no, they don't. They don't box. They kick box, but they don't box. So it's just a bit of a fun thing that cartoons have done to put, fighting, what do you call those, boxing gloves on kangaroos. Ostriches don't really put their head in the sand. Porcupines don't throw their quills. Like what? They don't? I don't know. Any more than you can throw your hair.
everyone
Porcupine.
out to discuss it. You're going to guide them how to interact with your animals, right? So that everything's just going to
Yes.
be fun. They're going to have a great
Yes.
time.
And no one now. I get quilled when I play with my prehensile-tailed porcupine because he is so much fun. I
And
don't know if you've seen some of the videos of him playing, but he goes
I was
into
watching him climb on the fence. Yep.
so you didn't see the one where we're actually playing and he's doing the zoomies on top of his cage? He
I missed
abs-
that, but I'll have to
oh
go
my
back and watch
gosh.
it.
Yeah, I've got lots of
Hmm.
videos on YouTube and Instagram, but not YouTube, TikTok. But anyway, it's really neat. Oh, and then another animal I have, when I first bring it out, people say, "Oh, gross, get it away from me." And I said, "No, no, 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 no. You need to hear what I have to say first." Well, hi. What are you doing?
Oh,
How's my girl? How's my mama? Hello, Victoria. Do you have a baby in your pouch too? Only your baby's little. Yeah, you came too late. The food's almost all gone. That's what you get for
This
being
is going to be
sneaky.
so much fun. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see everyone have fun with this.
it's a shame you can't
Everyone's
bring
going to
the
be so happy. Yeah.
Well, I wish I could bring kangaroos, but I'll bring the baby. I'll bring Lillian. I might be able to bring, I don't know. I don't think I'll bring, because now I was going to bring my baby wallabies. This is one of them right here. This is Bindi right here. But can you see her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Tabitha, the slightly older one, now is with child. And I don't want to bring Bindi without Tabitha because she would be really worried. So I'll probably just bring Lillian, but that's going to be special in and of itself.
You know, I
And
can
then
tell that you really care about your animals because you're doing what's best for them and in this
well,
situation. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
The thing about kangaroos, if you want to transport them, you really need to sedate them. And I don't like doing that if I don't have to. But sometimes we have to, like if I go to the vet. And so in order to even get them to Eugene, it would just be awful. It would just be awful. But Lillian, she's going to be in a pouch. She's not going to know any different. So, and Teddy will be fine, the little Patagonia Mara right here. So,
Oh,
I
anyways,
hope the armadillo makes it because I absolutely love them.
oh, he's so cute. Well, he's a little 3-banded. So he's not as big. Like we have the 9-banded here in the USA. And what makes the 3-banded really fun is there's 20 different kinds of armadillos, and they are the only one that curls into a ball. So that's another myth. There's a myth that all armadillos carry leprosy, and there's a myth that all armadillos curl into balls, but only one of them does. And that's
Isn't there only one species can carry the leprosy also? And don't you have to actually like eat it or something to get it?
I think so. I'm not real up on that. I should be a little smarter on it. I just know the 9-banded, the ones that are invasive species down south USA, are the ones that might carry leprosy. It doesn't mean they will.
Yeah, we have them actually now in Missouri, but I almost only ever see them dead on the side of the road. You don't ever see them
No.
actually alive and moving.
I know. It's very
yeah. It's
sad.
unfortunate. I hadn't seen him until my 30s, and that was on the side of the road, unfortunately.
Well, and that's what's happening up here in Central Oregon. The American, what are you running from? Everybody's running all of a sudden. Oh my gosh. I wish you could see Patrick, the big boy. He's laying on his back. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Can you see him over there?
Just a little.
Red kangaroo right there. That's the male, but I don't know if you can see him. Anyway, here in Central Oregon, well, here in the USA and up to Canada, we have the American porcupine. And actually, that porcupine migrated up from South America many, many years ago when there was a Panama Bridge, I guess, that came from South America and hooked on to the USA. And that's when we got our possum and the armadillo and the porcupine. Well, the porcupine only has 1 to 2 babies a year, so they're not very prolific. And here in Central Oregon, the numbers are dying out. So there's actually ODFW is doing a special. They're doing some research on that, and so they came and visited with my porcupines, and so I'm kind of hoping if I get this. If I can get the permits that I want, actually it would be licenses, that I'd be able to take on an American porcupine. And I might be able to anyway. I'm not really sure what the rules are. Some rules are some animals are prohibited.
Yeah.
Other animals you can have, but you have to get them from a USDA licensed breeder. So I can get a skunk and have it as a pet, but I can't show it in my petting zoo unless I'm AZA, and we were talking about that earlier. That's the American Zoological Association licensing, and it's very complicated. So I don't know. It might end up taking me years to be able to fill out all the paperwork, but
Yeah, that's
anyway.
that's a pain, but I guess in a way it's good. We don't want just any random person out there collecting animals and showing them off.
No, you are absolutely correct. And I could have I don't want a raccoon, but I could have a raccoon as long as I got it from a USDA breeder, but I couldn't show it in my zoo unless I had my special licenses. So I don't know if the porcupines fall in that. There's just some special rules pertaining to the raccoon and the skunk for some reason that other animals, they're just not on that list. So,
Now, Rose, you seem like you're a really passionate educator. Do you have a teaching background?
no, no. I just
You got
talk a lot.
Got it.
You got another friend creeping into the picture behind you there now, up on top of the fence.
Oh, hi, Cosmo. Oh, and here comes Mav. Hi, Maverick. What are you doing? Hi.
Maverick is.
Oh my gosh, he is the sweetest zebra.
How old is he?
The lady. He's only 3 years old. He's a 3-year-old gelding. I know. You say hello. Cosmo, say hello. What are you doing up there? How are you?
We're great. Thanks.
Everybody talks a lot around here. Yeah. Did you know that
Well,
zebras?
I'd much rather hear that than a lot of other things that I've heard them say before. So,
Yeah,
at least
well,
I'll tell you that.
Us. Did you know that zebras don't neigh like a horse? They bray like a donkey. Did you know that?
I've heard that.
I never knew that. It's like, where's that donkey coming from? And then I realized it's the zebra. I had no idea. So anyway, he's been a lot of fun. He's loves people, just loves people. I'm so thankful to have him.
Rose, what can people
Yes.
expect when they come out to the show and see your petting zoo?
Well, if it's I've only done one other one, and that was and so people came in one gate, left through the other. They stayed about 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And we only let so many people in. And, we'll have different animals. for people to hold. The porcupine, depending on how many people there are, sometimes she's so funny. She just, here he comes. Hi, where'd you come from? What are you doing? You see him?
Coming up to say hi.
Well,
Hey,
hi
buddy.
there. Hi, big
Huh?
boy.
He's
Who's
getting all
talking
up
on
in
the
your
phone?
business.
Who's talking on the phone?
He doesn't know those people, but they sound nice, right?
That is so funny. I didn't even see him come in. Oh, I see Charlotte's over there. No? Where's your bride? Where's your other bride? So Patrick has three brides. He has Charlotte, Victoria, and Matilda. So anyway, getting back, that's, and then I'll have my Joey, and people can have their pictures taken with Joey. I'm gonna with little Lillian. I'm gonna bring us a real pretty chair. It's kind of ornate. It's from 18th century. It's pretty cool. I've got a whole set of them. Um, and so basically, we're just gonna interact with the animals. That's, that's
You know, there's something so cathartic and just healing about interacting with animals. I think that's what a lot of people come into the shows for. So we're so happy that you're going to be there to help people with that.
Well, it's I was watching some videos this morning on YouTube about the world's biggest reptile show, and it was, oh, here comes Sydney, my little wallaby. Um, oh, yeah, everybody's starting to head over now. Now that the food's coming, everybody's coming, of course. Patrick might end up giving me a big hug because he wants food. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I called you and you didn't come. Sometimes he gets kind of pushy about his food. So when Patrick wants something, he gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
When our dogs wake us up in the morning, they're pretty pushy about getting their food usually. So
Yeah, well, they probably don't give you a hug so hard, though, you quit breathing. So,
no, they just lay on us.
no, he's not that bad. He's Patrick. Typically, it is not advisable to let people go around breeding male kangaroos any more than you'd let people just wander around stallions, bulls, or rams. But Patrick is
Makes sense.
not typical. He's pretty mellow. And so with supervision, we let people interact with him. And he's big. He's about 6.5 feet when he stands up and weighs about 180 pounds.
Oh,
And I'm not expecting him to stand up and put his arms on me. He will knock me over. It's like, oh,
And I would imagine that the kangaroos, much like reptiles, despite their size, that seems like their muscle is triple the strength of what their size dictates.
that's interesting you should say that because I cannot believe the strength that Patrick has in these arms. I mean, it's pretty powerful. Um, but anyway, getting back to the show. And so after people interact with the animals, and I'll pretty much take out whatever people, want to hold, um, then they can just go ahead and leave. So that's how we did it in the Redmond show. And it was really fun. I was impressed. Everybody was so wonderful. And
they are really fun. So we're so glad you decided to do another show and to
Guys,
sign
I'm
up with us.
And I'm going to put the info up here on the screen, so if people are watching this, they'll be able to find it here. The Eugene Reptile Show, it is coming up at the end of this month, September 27th and 28th. Everybody buy the VIP pass. That's going to be your best deal. It's $15. It gets you in an hour early, and you get free entry for day 2. Yeah, free entry on both days. So for $5 more than what it was going to cost you for one day pass, you get in an hour early, you skip the lines, and you get both days. So it's at the Lane Event Center in Eugene, Oregon. We'll be there all day, from, like I said,
9 to 3:30.
9 to 3:30.
It's going to be a blast, you guys. We were just up in
I need
Medford.
to be able to focus or filter around too. I'd like to I would like to try to get a Australian blue tongue skink. I like the Indonesians as well, but I'd really like the Australian. And I couldn't find one at the Redmond show, so I was really disappointed.
Yeah, we had a few different skinks at the show in Medford, but I'm not sure if that's the specific kind you're looking for. I think some of the same breeders are coming up there, so you might be lucky in Eugene.
Yeah, and the Indonesian's great too. I mean, it would be fine, but I just have a real tender heart for the Australian ones. You know, they're
Yeah,
so.
the Indonesians are cool. They're just there's not nearly as many that are captive bred in the U.S. So a lot of times they're wild caught or they're first generation here, and they're not as puppy dog tame as the Australians.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, but honestly, I'd like to have both. So,
Yeah,
but if I had to choose, which I probably do, I would like the northern blue tongue skink, and then I would have 6 animals from Australia. Is that not cool? Yeah, I'd have wallabies, kangaroos. I have a black swan, um, bearded dragon. There's something else I have. I can't think of what it was. I can't
Find
remember.
from.
Oh well. Anyway, the emus. I've got the emus.
Yeah.
So
Hey, where's that prehensile tailed porcupine native to?
they come from Brazil.
Okay.
And I don't know as much about them as I will as time goes on, but they're quite different from the Africans. For one thing, Africans live on the ground. They're terrestrial. And then the prehensiles, well, all New World porcupines are arboreal.
Yeah, I
But,
noticed he was climbing over on your fence
yep.
on
And
one of your
so
videos.
we just had that built so that way Emmett can come outside. I've been able to let him out because he would just climb the fence and walk
Just
off.
get out.
But both of the porcupines are really good about coming when I called. And one time Emmett got out and I called him and he came before we had this built. And he came right over and just followed me into his building and into his cage. And I went, oh boy, that was easy. So they seem to have a
Thank you.
little bit more. Well, hi, what are you doing back here? They seem to have armadillos have zero homing instinct. I put Alvin, I call him Alvin the bug because that's what he looks like. I put him on the ground and man, his nose hits the ground kind of like a beagle or a hound dog. If I don't watch him, he'll be gone. Who knows where? But the porcupines, it's kind of interesting how they seem to
Just
come
hang
when
out.
I call. Yeah, yeah,
So
they're
tell us a little. Tell us a little bit about the zoo there. People, if you happen to be from the area, people may want to come see you there if they don't catch you at the show.
well, all people need to do. I'm kind of old fashioned. I don't do a lot of real fancy things on the internet where you can make reservations, and so I do ask that people call or text my number, um, and they make a reservation. We're open Wednesday through Sunday with tours 3 times a day, and I do ask for tours. I do that. Um, because I want to ensure everybody's safe. That's just so important. Oh, that's so important to me. Um, there was one time we actually had a faux pas. I had a birthday party group here, and I don't watch them as closely because it's a private party. And a customer told me, one of the visitors told me about it. A boy was chasing after my elderly pig and hitting her on the butt with a stick. And it was after that I went, oh, nope, nope, we're not going to be doing that again. So, um, so we do tours and then we just kind of have a round. We only have 2 acres, so it's not a lot of walking. Um, We do the kangaroos last because that's where people like to spend most of their time. And then we sit for a while and visit with the little animals, which includes, I don't have a lot of reptiles. Um, oh, I started to tell you earlier about my really cool animal that's one of my favorites. So I bring out my animal. I have 3 of them. I want more. And people go, oh, gross. I don't want to touch it. And I go, no, you need to hear what I have to say. And it's my African giant millipedes.
Uh-huh.
And
Those are really,
love
yeah.
them. Love them. They are such amazing animals. And I would say probably 80% of the time, people end up holding them and enjoying their experience. So the whole idea is, what I tell people is, if you're going to try something new, this is the place to do it. I'm sitting right here. I'll take the animal back immediately if you're scared, but I don't do that with snakes or tarantulas, but I actually strongly encourage people to touch the millipedes
Yeah.
because usually people are so glad they did. Oh, that's not what I thought. I didn't think they'd feel like that. So then I get to talk about the difference between poison and venomous, and a lot of people don't know there's a difference. And that millipedes aren't bugs. They're actually arthropods. So they're in the same family as shrimp, crabs, lobsters. And I just think that's really cool. It's like, whoa.
Agree.
You
And you know
know?
what? It's great that you have that same mindset, because that's one of the things we love
Yeah.
about the reptile shows, is that so many people come in and they get over their fears of these things, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
Justin, you held your first snake at one of our shows, right? After you became a coordinator?
Yeah, down in South Carolina. I was actually scared of snakes when I started, and then one of my vendor friends just opened my hand and put a snake in my hand one day. I mean, she knew I was ready for it, but my wife got a very interesting picture of me holding a snake for the first
Really?
time. Okay. And now I can pick up ball pythons and 10-foot boas, and it's made a big difference. I had some trauma as a child out in the Midwest, with
Oh,
cottonmouths in the creeks and stuff like that. And
uh-huh.
I had trouble with snakes myself, and now I'm a reptile show coordinator, and I'm not scared of snakes anymore.
Oh,
Just
isn't
it's
that
all about exposure and
interesting?
getting
Yeah.
used to it.
And we get the same thing all the time. You know, I bred snakes and skinks, and was vending shows before I was working for Show Me Reptiles the same way. And I always made sure to bring ambassador animals for that reason, so that, people come up to the table and they've never held one before. It's like, well, here's your first time. Let's get over that right now.
Mm.
And I work with sand boas, so it's a nice, easy one to put in your hand.
A sand
Yeah.
boa would be fun to have. Yeah, they're really very nice. Not, I don't have a lot of snakes. I think I've got 9. I have a baby garter snake that I'm working with. Actually found it in my bathroom. And now that we get really cold winters here, and I knew if I ended up releasing him back on the property, I was just afraid the peacocks would eat him. I mean, you can't find a bug on our property to save your soul.
Yeah. It's
No
Yeah, it's
matter.
funny
like
the
having
world. It's funny that we live in this world, because she just said, I don't have a lot of snakes, maybe like 9. And
Oh,
most people out there would be like, you have 9 snakes?
oh, does that seem like?
And the rest of us are like, what are you talking about? I have like 200. I don't know.
No, it's not very much.
Yeah, we just have we're getting a Chihuahua gecko this week in St. Louis, and we've got a Greek tortoise and 2 cats and 2 dogs and some isopod tanks. Not a lot of animals or anything.
I know, isn't it funny? People say, how many animals do you have here? And I said, well, it kind of depends. Now with my ARE license, I have a lot more than I did before, because I didn't really count my fish. I didn't, well, they don't count reptiles, and usually I do, but I don't know. I don't think that we have too many animals to care for. I try to be very careful, but I compare it to people who have large families. It's like you have one child and you think your whole life is wrapped up in one child. How could you ever have 2? And before you know it, you're raising 4. Like, how did I do that? So you just get used to it.
You love them all.
and you love them
Yeah.
all. And as I was mentioning earlier about my AZA, I might part with my bunnies and my guinea pigs, even though I love them. I do. I really like guinea pigs because it's just, it's a lot of extra maintenance, and I would rather put my time into maybe something a little more exotic, like maybe another porcupine, for example. And I don't want to spread myself so thin that I'm not doing a good job with anybody.
Yeah.
With
It
everybody.
sounds like you're doing a really great job. I mean, all the animals running around look pretty healthy and happy to me.
They're so wonderful. Oh my gosh. I just love them. I love just coming out and sitting here. Now that the food's gone, I have nobody around me. It's like they're so fickle. Are you coming back, Teddy? Except the little Patagonia Mara, and the dog comes over, of course. The old dog. Yeah, I am. You're so silly, Emery, aren't you? Yes, you are.
So Justin was up there. We just had our first show last weekend in Medford, our first West Coast
Yeah.
show. So how did that
Man,
go?
we just got it was fantastic. I mean, the turnout was amazing. Whenever you're starting a show in a new territory, I mean, we didn't even ever have a show in that state before. We had, probably a couple thousand people through the door at least, and everyone had a fantastic time. So
Wow.
it was amazing. I know. I couldn't have.
1,000?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, Medford turned up. I mean, Ashland, Eagle Point, like everyone from an hour away came in. It was just fantastic.
Oh my
So
goodness. Well,
I know. So about more than half our vendors, I think, from the Medford show are signing up for Eugene because it just went so well. So I'm excited to see Eugene. I've always wanted to spend some time in the Pacific Northwest. So my wife and I, we drove up. It was like 30 hours. We left last Monday and we got there on Thursday and then drove home from Sunday to Tuesday night. So it was wild.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't wait.
being a Midwestern guy here, I've been up there a couple of times, and I'm getting ready to go back up there for vacation. And it's the most beautiful part of this country. There's just hands down, there's nothing prettier than like the Oregon coastline and the mountains up there.
Oregon
that's one of our plans is to go to the coast briefly while we're up there.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Oregon coast is absolutely a must-see for anyone coming to Oregon. It's just incredible. But I also
try to make it over to maybe
and Central Oregon. It's pretty amazing. It's very different from the West Coast. Well, yeah, I guess you would call it the West Coast. We just call it the Valley. Anything over the coastal or the Cascade Range, we call that the Valley. And then you start getting more southerly. So Medford would be more southern.
Yeah, we didn't actually say you're in. Is it Prineville? Is that how you pronounce it?
Prineville.
Prineville, which is over by like Redmond and Bend, right?
Right.
In that area.
we are an hour. Oh, I wish you could see. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. My little Patagonia Mara, they stot. It's called stotting. Oh, hi Cosmo. Are you back? Okay. Where they actually hop up. They run where they go boink boink, kind of like the Pepe Le Pew skunk where he goes boink boink boink. That's the way they run. And they call it stotting. And they do that when they're happy. So he's stotting all over the field right now. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. He loves our pit bull. So cute. He's always nuzzling on his neck, and it's so cute. But anyway, so we're like 1 hour east. So, and then we're about 45 minutes east of Redmond. So we're definitely in the drier part. We're getting a little more central Oregon, if that makes sense. Whereas Bend actually has a lot more trees. It's just different. But
I was surprised at how arid Eastern Oregon was driving through it because we came through like Nevada. We stayed in Winnemucca and then drove from Winnemucca to Medford area. Went through Klamath Falls and that Eastern Oregon, I I had not known anything about it ahead of time, and it was, mountains and arid territory. It looked a lot like Nevada.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty barren over there. Klamath Falls is real pretty though.
it
That's
was
a real
beautiful.
pretty
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
took that scenic tour around it. It was just amazing.
Oh, 57. Did you
Yeah,
go on
for
Highway
the first time we
57?
went through the mountains, and then the second time we took the scenic route. It was just stunning. I couldn't
Oh,
have had imagined a more beautiful trip.
well, I agree. Yeah, however, I do miss Montana. I lived for 10 years in Montana, and that's one of the reasons why we moved to Central Oregon, was because it's a lot like Montana, actually. Yeah, just not quite as big of a sky. Montana really does have a big sky. It's kind of weird, but
No,
let's
it's different
see.
everywhere. It doesn't
Yeah,
have a big sky. So big sky country, we just kind of go, whoa, you can see forever. It's
I
huge
know.
here.
Yep, and if you go up on one mountain, you can see like, oh, I can't remember how many mountain ranges. It's been almost 30 years since I lived in Montana, but you could see 3 or 4 mountain ranges it's just amazing. But on the other hand, the Bend area is definitely, I think, I think it's a wonderful place to live. So, but what are you doing,
I can't
Cosmo?
wait to
Now
see it.
yeah, so, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else exciting I can tell you.
Well,
I'm look,
we are just absolutely thrilled for it. I'm lucky enough that I'm going to be on vacation and up there, so I'm going to get to stop by and see some of these critters.
That's going to be great. Did you buy your ticket online already, Brady?
I'm gonna sneak in. No.
oh, you're not going to pay anything. No, of course not.
And we will remind everybody though one more time the show information here coming up September 27th, 28th. Once again, normal prices $10 for general admission. $15 gets you the VIP, which gets you in an hour early and both days. But
Yeah.
children 7 to 12, it's only $5. 6 and under is free, and we do a $5 half off discount for military, first responders, and educators. So we want
Wow.
everybody to be able to access the show.
Oh,
Yeah, you
that's
just keep those prices. I mean, it's cheaper than going to a movie, and it's just so much more fun. It's life changing for a lot of people to come out and interact with all the animals that we have at the show and
Yeah, and
learn.
here's,
The
yeah, and here's
opportunities is
the
just
so. Do you have cards, flyer cards, or any type of advertisement that people?
we have some at the show that people can pick up. A lot of our advertisement is online because that's where most people go now to find things to do in the areas.
Oh,
Looking through
okay.
Facebook,
Yeah, we
everything.
also have this is depending on the area. Sometimes we can do this, sometimes we can't. But we have 95 radio commercials that are going out in the 10 days
Yeah.
leading up to the show. So we expect that should draw
Yeah.
in some crowds, really advertising to families. And we're
Oh my
doing like
goodness.
10 giveaway. Mickey has given them 20 VIP passes for the radio station that they're going to be doing on-air giveaways of 20 VIP passes.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I think it'll be really fun. Um, it'll. I don't know. I'm kind of getting a little bit hooked on these things. I love all the people. Oh, I love the people I meet here. Don't take me wrong. It's the one thing that keeps me going. It's the people. But that show in Redmond was just fun.
I
But yeah, you get so many more people that they weren't even expecting to see you.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's just meeting everybody else. I didn't get to walk around very much. But, a couple times I did, and oh man, it was just so much fun, and everybody was just so wonderful. And I'm assuming some of the people that were at the Redmond one will be at the
I
Eugene one.
know we have at least one or two people who are in Redmond as one of our vendors has a shop in Redmond, and I'm pretty sure she's done both those shows.
Oh,
So,
is that the high desert geckos?
yes, Samantha with High Desert.
Or high?
Yeah,
Yeah, high desert
High
geckos, right?
Pet Supply. That's right.
Oh, and then there's we have the the other one is the reptile zone. So we have, and I think those are the only two actual pet shops
Pet
like
shop.
that in
Yeah,
Central.
well, Samantha's been doing our shows for years.
Oh,
She's been driving out to Colorado before we ever had shows in Oregon. And
oh,
she's gone to Boise, Idaho. So she's been doing shows with us for several years.
oh!
So
I've got to
she was,
make sure that I meet
yeah.
her because I've never gone in myself. My husband's usually picking up rats and but I've never gone in myself. So I need to.
She'll be there. You'll have 2 days there to meet her.
Yeah, that'll be really.
Yeah, she's really nice. I think you guys will get along.
Oh, my
She's gonna
husband
have
sure likes her.
too.
Well, that'll be
Yeah.
really, yeah, it's just, I don't remember anybody's, well, I did meet, I wonder if the, do you know if the parrot rescue is going to be there from Central, I can't even think of what it's called. I thought I heard that it recently burned
Oh, no.
down, but
I'm not sure.
I don't know if it was the same one. But these people, they are a parrot rescue, but they would come with their toucan. People were actually having their pictures taken with their toucan. And I just can't remember the name of was it Parrot Place or something like that? But anyway, we don't have a whole lot of those places here, so it's probably the same one.
We're not afraid to reach out and invite them between now and then.
Well, it's a pretty neat place. What I'll do, Brady, is I will find their number and I will text that to you. I never even got to go over and talk with them. Just.
Is that the Northwest Avian Rescue?
Can you see this?
Yeah.
Can you see the blue and gold macaw? What are you doing? You goofball.
Oh, man.
Teddy. Cosmo. I don't think I've had Cosmo for 30 years. I don't think he's gonna hurt him.
We joke that a bunch of our guests have a zoo going on in their house. You literally do.
It's just so funny. So not everybody gets along. Cosmo's like, get out of my face, you furry thing. But then he doesn't like any animal. So yeah, I call it animal drama. We've always got some animal drama going on.
They just think they're people too. It's okay.
Well, it's very special. So anyway, I will go ahead and text you because I have it in my phone. I hope that's I hope that's not the one that burnt down. That just makes me sick to even think about it. Those birds, their lungs are so sensitive that it doesn't take much for them to die of inhalation. Yeah,
well, anything like that, rescues or breeders or anything in that area, send them our way. We'll be happy to reach out. The more the merrier at the show.
Well, and their exhibit was beautiful. They had, I just don't have great, big, beautiful, brand new looking cages. We're on a shoestring budget, and I have to kind of work with what I've got. So if it comes to putting money out for a brand new fancy perch or upgrading a pen, I'd rather upgrade a pen.
100%.
Yeah.
So I just would love to be able to find ways to find people to sponsor our zoos so we could actually do a lot more.
Honestly, coming out to shows and making friends and getting your name out there even more, that's one of the biggest things you can do to find help. You never know who's going to come out to a show and say, "Oh, I know this and this guy who's really interested in helping."
Oh my gosh, it would be a blessing. We did have a donation for doing our new porcupine area. We did put out a little bit of money for it because we had to kind of tweak things. You know, and when people are coming out and building something for an animal, they don't always know like certain things that we know to be safe.
Yeah.
So we had to go and tweak several things, and so it was a little bit of money, but it's actually pretty awesome. And by the time we get it done, I think with the amount of space that we have, the two porcupines now have a 12-foot by 30-foot area that they can go outside in.
Oh,
And so we've got a variety of things that we need to do to get that all set up for them. And then Emmett, of course, I think he's going to have the best. Yeah. Because we got logs in there.
well, I saw him getting introduced to his new enclosure. I saw the video on your page.
Yeah, we just don't have the logs, and I'm going to put some sleeping boxes for him. And oh, hi. Are you coming back to visit? Can we see Lillian? Is Lillian poking her head out? Oh, no. No. Look at this face. Can you see that beautiful face? Look at her. Isn't she
They're good.
gorgeous? So beautiful. Lillian must be sleeping.
I love that the dog gets along with them so well.
Oh, it's so cute. It's just this is our fifth pit bull type dog. We've had a couple mixes. And I say mostly they're Staffordshire. We've had two full Staffordshires, but they have been the best, hands down, the best farm dogs we've ever had. I even had one here that it was my son's dog who was sick with cancer, and so we brought her here. 5 years old, and she learned in one day to leave the animals alone. It was amazing. They're just in my opinion, they're just an incredible dog. But I know not everybody believes that. But
everything gets a bad rap, just like reptiles. People are scared to death of snakes and scared to death of pit bulls, and yeah, just get over the myth. That's what we're here for.
I tell people when it comes to reptiles, I said, you've got this, of course, is just the way I explain things. You've got two different kinds of reptiles. You have the wild wolves and you have the golden retrievers. And the only reptiles I have here would be considered golden retrievers. So I have like the leopard gecko and crested gecko and ball pythons. I have a beautiful rat snake that's been crossed with a corn snake. I have two corn snakes, two very large common boas. Just sweet, sweet. So
yeah, some of those huge snakes, some of those retics and those boas, those are really interesting. People bring out their 12-foot retics to a show, and then you see them interacting with children, and they're like loving, and like they really interact nicely. They're very docile and tame. It's amazing to me to see a 12-foot snake, just hanging out on a kid's shoulders.
I know it. I have to admit that I'm not completely comfortable with the reticulateds or the Burmese. I was bit by a rock python once that was supposed to be an educational animal. And oh my goodness. And he was like 15 feet and he was wrapping around my arms. It was an experience, but I also understand that again, the rock pythons are not really a golden retriever.
No, they have that reputation of not being a tame snake.
Right. And so, now that I know that, but it's all education. And, I've got a lady here that helps me once in a while. And somebody, when she was a little girl, threw a rattlesnake at her. So she had horrible, horrible phobia against snakes. Well, she has finally got to the point to where she carries, I have a female ball python. She's a big girl. She's a really big girl. And she can now pick her up and carry her around. She won't touch anybody else, but
Hey,
she's able to do that with Bella. So I'll be bringing Bella to the show. She's so pretty, you know.
nice. That's
And
how
ball
healing happens. That is.
and she actually touched my smaller. I have a 6.5 foot common boa. He's the boy. And then I have a girl, and she's 9.5 feet.
And
But she actually touched the male. She did touch him, but it was a lot. And people have
Yeah.
these horrible phobias against tarantulas, and I try truth. They aren't going to bite you just to bite you. In fact, if anything, they might flick their butt hairs at you, but they're not going to. I mean, most.
And people don't know what to expect either. I mean, a lot of times, like, people are shocked when I tell them, like, I'll let almost any snake, non-venomous, it can bite me before I'll take a cat scratch. I'm like, a cat scratch hurts worse,
That is so funny.
A snake is a quick bite and it's done, and there's not really any pain. You're just in shock because it happened fast. But a cat scratch is gonna sting for days.
Well, I got very sick from a cat. It was a cat bite. That's what I got sick from. And I had to get a rabies shot, and my arm swelled up with foot. I never had that happen. Actually, I bragged about my snake. Because that's what I do. It's like, yeah, look at that little scar there. Yeah, let me tell you what happened. Because, I mean,
We all learn to respect the animals in different ways.
Well, that's right. And, people, it's my belief that the majority of bites are human error. They're pushing an animal too
Human
fast.
misinformation.
And misinformation. The animals, when I first got my emperor scorpion, it took me a year, first one ever, to actually get him to be really good with me. It took, yeah, I named him Kitten. Normally they're so easy, they're so docile, but Kitten was just really defensive. He was scared because he was small. I mean, about half size, and I'm sure he was wild caught, and that all plays into it. But it's so sweet because now he's learned to be comfortable. He knows he's safe. And that has been another thing that has really impressed me with reptiles and my creepy crawlers, I'll say, because millipedes are not insects. But it always amazes me when an insect or a creepy crawler becomes comfortable in your hands. They feel safe. And it shakes people understand that most of these animals are not going to just to bite you. They're going to have to feel threatened. Even right down to the black widow. They're only going to bite if you try to smash them, and your hands are in the way. It's been really fun to learn that animals aren't these, even skunks won't spray unless they absolutely have to, because it takes them 2 weeks to build their scent back up. So they're defenseless.
Yeah.
And I used to think that skunks just go around going, hey, I don't like to spray. And they don't do that.
Yeah. You're 100% correct. I mean, I of all the times I've been bitten by snakes, I would bet 95% of them were my fault for, I reached in too fast, too quick, too near their head. I did something wrong, and it was a feeding response or a defensive strike, and it wasn't the snake being aggressive.
That's what I've noticed here. So with Kitten, when I hit a mistake and I take my hands and I'll go behind his butt and be underneath his front paws, and I woke him up too fast, and he gave me a good solid pinch. It was a hard pinch. It's like, whoa, that animal strength. Because it takes a lot for me to feel pain when it comes to the animals. And I realized it was my fault. You know, I wasn't letting them wake up slowly. And I started watching the millipedes come out of their coils right away now because they're so. Who'd have thunk it? And then one time I was holding, I had a rose hair. I'd like another rose hair. I had her for years, and I could let anybody hold her. She was just the neatest tarantula. And one day I was going to take her and give her to somebody else. And I was going to take the snake from around her neck. And I got up close, probably 8 inches from the snake's head. And for the first time ever, she reared up and flipped those spinnerets out. She saw that snake.
Wow.
And responded. And I pulled my hand away and she just went right back to normal. Who would ever have thought that? So these animals are not dumb, and people have to understand, you know, that we're pretty big and they're pretty small. And so I learned I just won't walk around snakes with my tarantulas anymore.
So,
What the heck?
well, we are coming up on the hour, so I promise we try not to ever go over it. But Gramma Rose, we want to thank you so much for coming on and giving us time with your animals, and we look forward to seeing you in Eugene.
Yeah, it's been really fun getting to see some of them out on their farm. So
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, we appreciate it. I'm gonna call it a quit here. It's gonna play the outro, and then we'll see you guys in Eugene.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
All right.
I'll see you guys. Thanks, Brady. Rose.
Thanks for tuning in to the Show Me Reptile Show podcast. Remember to subscribe, leave us a comment, and tune in for more amazing reptile content soon. Until next time, stay curious, love your animals, and respect one another.